Chapter 8, this is the third part of the chapter. This is Vladimir speaking. Quote, "But he isn't speaking to you either." He's referring to God. "Maybe he's not interested in listening to you, and meanwhile you're wasting so much energy." Quote, "He is listening and he is answering." Quote, "What is he answering? Is there something new you know now?" Quote, "He has hinted at where to find the answer, where to search for it." Quote, "He's hinted to you? So where is it?" Quote, "In the union of opposites." Quote, "What does that mean?" Quote, "It happens, for example, when two opposite extremes of human thinking in the," never heard this word, Avatamsaka, some Indian word, the Flower Garden Sutra. Okay. It happens, for example, when two opposite extremes of human thinking in the Avatamsaka commentary merge into a new dynamic whole. This was behind the philosophies of Hua Yen and Keegan. Don't know who those are, but Hua Yen is a philosophical school from China, and Keegan is a philosophical school apparently from Japan. This was behind the philosophies of Hua Yen and Keegan, which offer a world view of even greater perfection, not unlike the models and theories in your modern physics. Quote, "What was all that?" Quote, "Oh, please do excuse me. I do not know what came over me. I completely forgot myself." "What are you apologizing for?" "You must forgive me. I used words which are completely unfamiliar to you." Quote, "You're right. They are unfamiliar. I have no idea what they mean." Quote, "I shall try not to do that again. Please do not be angry with me." Quote, "Don't worry, I'm not angry. Only explain in ordinary words where and how you will go about searching for this answer." Quote, "I certainly cannot do it alone. It can only be known through the joint effort of the divine particles to be found in various people living on the earth, people with opposite modes of thinking and comprehension. Only through a joint effort will it be seen, and then in a dimension invisible to the eye, the domain of thoughts. One can also call it the dimension of the forces of light. It exists between the material world in which man lives and God." Quote, "I shall see it, and many others will too. Then it will be easier to attain a universal conscious awareness. It will be easier to bring mankind through the dark forces window of time, and the catastrophe will not be repeated." Quote, "Specifically, what do people need to do right now to make the answer appear?" Quote, "It would be fine if a lot of people could wake up in the morning at a set time, 6 o'clock, for example, and think about something good. What specifically they think about is not important. It is important that they come out with bright thoughts. They can then think about their children, about their loved ones, about how to make everyone happy. If they could only think 15 minutes like that, and the more people that do that, the quicker the answer will come. The Earth's time zones may be different since the Earth is turning, but the images created by these people's bright yearnings will merge into a single, clear, fulfilled image of conscious awareness. The simultaneity of bright thoughts will intensify each person's ability many, many times." "Oh, Anastasia, how naive you are. Who in their right mind would wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning just to think for 15 minutes? People will only get up that early if they have to go to work or have a plane to catch or are going on a business trip. Anybody else will decide, leave the thinking to others. I'm going to get some more sleep. I doubt you'll find many helpers that way. Quote, but you, Vladimir, could not you at least help me? Me? I don't wake up that early unless I have to. But if I should somehow find myself waking up then, what good things should I think about? Well, for example, you could think about the little son I will be giving birth to, your son. Think how delightful he will be to be kissed by the sun's rays, to see the pure and magnificent flowers all around him, and have the bushy-tailed squirrel play with him in this glade. Think how good it would be if all the other children in the world could forever be kissed by the warm sun. Then nothing would make them sad. Then think about who you might say something glad to or give a smile to during the day ahead. And how good it would be if this marvelous world lasted forever, and what you could do, you in particular, to bring this about. Quote, I'll think about our son, and I'll try to come out with other good thoughts. Only what's the point? You'll be thinking here in the forest while I'll be in an apartment in the city. That's only two of us. You say many people are needed. So until we get a lot of people involved, isn't it pointless for just the two of us to try? Quote, even one person, Vladimir, is more than none. Two together are more than two apart. Later, after you write your book, more people will come along. I shall feel them and delight in each one. We shall learn to catch each other's feelings of the heart, understand and help each other through the dimension of the forces of light. Quote, everything you say still has to be believed. I myself don't completely believe in this bright dimension, this domain of thoughts. You can't even prove it exists because you can't touch it. Quote, yet your scientists have come to the conclusion that thought is something tangible. Quote, they have, but since you can't actually touch it, it's not something you can get completely set in your mind.